mean, it's kind of like a training program where you practice acting stuff. Wait, if I compare this to music, then it sounds less like bullshit. Okay, so I'll use the term conservatory, because that sounds actually legitimate. I mean, it is a conservatory after all. So yeah, I'm in a conservatory for acting. I mean, it's extraordinarily rigorous. You can't even imagine the shit that they put us through. Sometimes it's fun. No, that makes it sound less legitimate. So never mind, it's never fun. I mean, I can't imagine med school to be fun, or business school, or law school for that matter. Ugh. So never mind, it's never fun. It's hard-ass American work. Ethic. We work hard and we always succeed because we work hard. Well, ultimately render what a writer writes believable, true, actually something. Look, I know this sounds like bullshit, but let me tell you, the people who do this get to be on TV. Like on TV shows. On TV! Or movies even. Like my friend Lupita Nyong'o. She's the face of Lancome. Because she went to acting school. Conservatory! Lancome, you know? That's like a fucking multi-million-dollar contract, dude. See? We make money and, like, spend it at nice gastropubs or on vacations to Croatia. Or maybe we spend that money here in America and strengthen our own economy. Or, better yet, everybody in China sees the movies and TV shows we're in, and in turn we drain their economy to benefit ours. No. More money goes into America because we went to acting school, and that renders me a productive member of society. Am I trying to be rich and famous? Well, if that's our only frame of reference, I'm not gonna say no. Rich, yeah, famous too. So yes, I am trying. This hard. Because here we are, on an airplane, and you're Joe America, or rather I've cast you as Joe America. If that's okay, I mean, it better be, because, like, if this piece of shit self-referential recital doesn't go well, I won't necessarily be famous. But if I'm famous, I could contribute my influence far and wide and, like, start a line of organic pesto sauces. You can be in my entourage if you want. That is, if I don't throw in the towel in 8 months and move to Berlin. How tall are you? 5'6"? Perfect. You can't have anyone taller than you in your own entourage. So, I mean, the best part is I could brand my name and face on all sorts of crap and, like, gain 40 million more followers on my idiotically contrived narrative on Instagram and, like, casually promote more products. Yeah, so I am trying to be famous. I mean, that's the point of enrolling in an Ivy League drama school at a Tony Award-winning theater with an unrelated bar attached to it that uses the same name. That's the point! This is a tough one. Looking like an overprivileged fool and an actor. No, dude. Mommy and Daddy, I'm not paying for it. I am financially independent from my parents. Basically. They may or may not take me out to dinner every time they visit me in Providence, but believe it or not, I once made a living as an actor in Hollywood. I was cast in a drastically expensive Chrysler commercial paid for by the federal automotive bailout of 2008. Thanks, Obama. No, really, thanks, Obama! Adrian Brody directed this ad. You know Adrian Brody from the Stella Artois Super Bowl commercials? He won an Oscar, like my friend Lupita Nyong'o. So he directed this ad, which was this Chrysler through the decades sort of thing. Whatever happened to style? Where's the glamour gone? Not long ago, America had it, looking and feeling like $1 million. It's like this crazy, contrived montage of period clips of white people doing white people shit all around these old classic Chrysler cars. It all harkening back to a simpler America. Kind of an audaciously terrible move to be right in the middle of a recession. But I'm in like three seconds of it. 3 seconds! I'm in a top hat and coattails, sitting in the back seat of an old Chrysler as the male escort to a 1930s starlet that I just end up looking like her younger brother. Bruh, guess how much I made? 35 grand. Yeah! 35 grand in federal automotive Chrysler left the ad on their YouTube channel past the maximum period of use. Guess who made an extra $17K in penalty money for watching himself on YouTube? That's right. Woo! Now you're impressed. This all seemed to cease its relevance once I got into grad school. But I'll be 30 in a few fucking weeks, so no, they aren't paying for it. Well, actually, I turned 31 about 5 weeks ago, but when I wrote the first draft of this, it was about 3 weeks shy of my 30th birthday. But I left this in to maintain that I'm 31, but read 29 going on 30. And I get financial aid. That's the most important thing I had to tell you, dude. No, I'm not. No, I'm not good. I'm actually a complete fraud. Here's the thing. All actors are, so you can never really tell who's good and who isn't. I mean, it's a game, and it's all subjective to taste. Like, which of my pesto sauces with my face on it was your favorite? Depending on the day. I mean, maybe I am good. I don't know. I mean, I think I've improved. That's the whole point of throwing away 3 years of my life in grad school. I mean, it all culminating like literally right now. I mean, I better be better in this very moment. Shit! I can't even tell anymore. I don't know what good acting means. I don't know what good acting is. Wait, that's not entirely true. Okay, let me back up. So before all this grad school bullshit, I was cast. I booked this like wet dream job. No, not another racist TV ad. Like an actual acting job. A lead role in a world premiere. A world premiere on the world's stage, so we say. Anyway, by an emerging playwright and graduate of the Yale School of Drama. Oh, they're like another Ivy League drama school, but ranked higher than ours. Oh, my friend Lupita Nyong'o there. So, long story short, or rather, long story regular, and I'm a little worried this piece of shit self-referential recital may not be long enough, and everyone will be wondering, like, what the fuck was he doing for 5 weeks, for 8 weeks after showcase? Like, did he book the MacGyver pilot? No! He didn't book the MacGyver pilot! So what the fuck is he doing for 8 weeks after showcase? Which is what I'm wondering too. So, with Obama's bailout money, thanks, Obama! I took a trip to New York City to be in a reading of my friend's play that was going to be directed by Craig Lucas. He's like this famous theater director and playwright. Alec Baldwin was in a movie adaptation of one of his plays. Prayer to a Kiss. So at the airport, at LAX, all the flights were fucked up because of this storm on the East Coast, and I end up talking to this dude bro, just like you, man. He's sitting on a laptop writing a script, and we strike up a conversation, and his name is Kenneth Lin. And he's now a writer-producer for House of Cards on Netflix. Yeah, Netflix. Like the Netflix and chill Netflix. House of Cards! Yeah, he should give me a part in House of Cards. So we talk about drama school and how I never get in anywhere I apply. And but I invite him to the reading, and it turns out Craig Lucas, the famous theater director and playwright a la Alec Baldwin, was a mentor of his at Yale School of Drama. Though not at the same time as my friend Lupita Nyong'o. Ken comes to the reading. He was so impressed with what I was doing, he has me audition for the lead role in his new play a few months later. I show up in person a few months after that, in Ojai, California. Don't ask. I get it. And we met at the airport. Look, I know this sounds like some sort of perverse Larry Craig story, but I swear on the Constitution, I did not give Ken Lin a handjob in the men's room at LAX Terminal C. I didn't give Craig Lucas a handjob in the men's room at PS 122, although he did ask me to move in with him and raise a family together. I wasn't quite ready for that. No handjobs given. I got this part because I was good. No, I was fucking terrible. That's not the point. I got it because of something, I don't know, YouTube. Wait, it gets worse. So, at the design presentation before the first read-through, Ken references seeing me in that play at PS 122 that Craig Lucas directed, and he refers to me as a brilliant actor. No! Fuck! me $5.66 a week for genius, to only have me flounder and drown and more or less ruin this poor guy's play. I'm playing Ken, more or less. But he's Chinese-American, and my character is this waspy kid who drops out of Columbia. And it's this, I need to use this part of the space at some point. This, like, agrarian beekeeping into the wild meets Latino driving Miss Daisy, dual narrative sort of thing. It all culminating in my character's mother coming to terms with her whiteness and more or less coming to terms with being, well, a crappy mother, and my character being mistaken for Mexican and lynched by rednecks in flashback. Don't laugh, it's a tragedy. I mean, I simply failed this important piece. This play about America. A reviewer with a WordPress account had this to say. It is my belief that it's written to be beautiful and absorbing. But instead, it's at best irritating and at worst painful. And the blame for that can lie directly on Olesky's shoulders. Lockjawed and stiff, Olesky is like a living example of everything bad male actors do. His hands flail with expression. His forehead furrows in painful concentration. He raises his voice and emotes for all he's worth. He's clearly working hard, and it's really not working. Everyone is an expert, I guess. Thing is, bruh, in retrospect, I don't disagree with her. She did not walk away with a paycheck. I did. I should confess that I didn't pay for this flight. My dad did. Sorry. See? Everyone is a fraud. So, come see Christmas Carol sometime. Around Christmas at Trinity Rep. I may be in it. At the time I wrote the first draft of this like a year ago, I wasn't sure one way or another. So I won't be in it. Kyle, Dennis, and Josh will be. My therapist says I should try and be more like Kyle. But if I had been cast, I'd have bagged like 10 grand. 10 grand! Can you believe that for acting in a Dickens adaptation? Anyway, so I'll be in Love of the Nightingale instead. I won't be satisfied with my acting. Well, for the most part I will be, but there'll be one matinee that'll be sort of off energy. I won't get enough sleep the night before, and I'll have a shitty dopamine hangover from jerking off to too much internet porn. Don't ask why I do that. It's compulsive and never ultimately satisfying. And of course, my voice teacher, Tom Jones, will see that performance, which will be like the worst one. Annie Scaria will see that one too. It'll be my last opportunity to prove to her that I'm not a fraud. I'll try and do that in my True West scene with Peter Martin, but it'll just backfire and end up coming off as like sort of pushed, and the entire first year class won't really be trying to impress. We'll just be like, At least he's friends with Lupita Nyong'o. So no, don't come to Christmas Carol. Oh, or do. But I won't be in it. And I won't bag 10 grand. Why? Well, they issue a union contract for that show. Because it makes fuckloads of money. But if you ask me, I'm in both of the unions, and it's just a load of dried commie jizz. But don't laugh, I can say that. I'm a democratic socialist. You can't, because you're my overly simplistic archetype of the all-American male who supports drone strikes and, like, Trump. Wait, no, I'm ahead of you. I'm ahead of you. So, all creative type people are socialists. Gay too, am I right? Do you think I'm gay? Half of everybody I meet does. Anyway, you've all won. We're all censored and rendered truly incapable of making any change happen on any level. I mean, it's all completely for us. As much as we'd like to think it isn't. I mean, look at me. Fraud, right? Maybe I should run for president. I'm not enough of a sociopath. But look, what will this do? satisfying my every need for ratification. But even if that does happen, so what? How is history made any different? It was once read aloud in class, and I intended to give this part to Dennis and your part to Griffin, which at that point your part had language, but then Griffin wasn't in class that day, which was weird. So I gave his part to Lee instead. Which was even... This very monologue made zero sense, but all the more sense in the world when Miss Cass, and in the end, Deb Salem-Smith, our playwriting teacher, suggested I turn this into a recital. So I cut your part out altogether, because this is a one-man show! Griffin, no, I'm George. My point is, so what? Who gives a fuck? Everybody sees it, and they go home and fuck their partners, and I go home with an intern, and everyone calls it a night. And leverages their experience seeing it for social standing or cultural credit in whatever context is useful for them. I saw George Olesky's one-man show. It was __ intrusive R_. This barrel-aged mezcal is to die for. I get why mezcal isn't usually barrel-aged, but this barrel-aged mezcal is to die for. I'll just die for it, like in a plane crash. It's all so perverse. But I don't think that's enough. Chalking it up to a paycheck. Oh, look, I'm not saying you should change the world with your job, but look, I can't explain my ridiculous desire to save the world. But potentially, at the very least, art can do that. I mean, I don't think it usually does, but it can, it really can, especially performance, like shift things, disrupt the normal flow, even if it's a normal flow of thought. For like a moment. Forever. I mean, I can't think of any examples when I'm under pressure in front of an audience, but it can, it really can. I don't think it usually does because the people who need to see it, i.e. you, don't seek it out. Well, why wouldn't you seek out change, man? Look, I'd rather not get old and lose all my hair. Frankly, it's the only thing I care about. It's change. It's change. I mean, the world is a complicated and often terrible place, and it should change. Right? What do you mean, nah? Everything is fine? What, everything was fine? No, man. Nothing is fine. It never really was. But things really could be. They could. Yeah, if I keep acting in my gay little plays. I will! And things will change because of that. It's change. It's incremental, but you can't, like, document it on a spreadsheet, but it's change, and I'm going to be at the point of that spear. If I can be. Wait, I just decided that. Damn it. Well, I gotta make a living first. I signed with Abrams, by the way. They represent Jason Segel. You know him. You see every movie he's in. He's like a dude broke just like you. So there's that. And then there's living, and then there's fun, and then I can act in these edgy experimental plays for young neoconservatives like you, and you'll change the way you invest, and change the way you vote, and we'll overturn Citizens United. And then afterwards, you see me at these experimental plays in wherever, you take us out for $17 cocktails in the financial district, and thank us for rescuing you from your abhorrent politics. Wait, what? But how could you say that? I just spent the last 15 minutes with you in equitable conversation, employing my graduate level listening skills, taking you in, and you have the nerve to say that you won't see anything I act in? Unless it's an action movie in which I die? But you met me. You can say you sat next to me on an airplane. You can tell all your friends who sat next to me on an airplane I was going to introduce you to Lupita Nyong'o. You are going to be in my entourage! No, I won't calm down. No! Ladies and gentlemen, this is a hijacking. The all-American archetype in 29F, that's the window, refuses to recognize my legitimacy as an MFA actor who can make change happen. Despite my shoddy writing, he won't see it, so I'm holding this plane hostage until he does. My demands are that America goes to the theater and takes in our progressive messaging to inspire a revolution. Every American will purchase non-refundable season tickets to every Lord Theater in America, or I will crash this plane. I demand that the federal government and the Department of Defense divert private funding from private military contracts to the NEA, underwriting 80% of all theater productions by 75%, liberating the arts from the marketplace. Oops. I forgot about there still being U.S. Marshals on airplanes. That is until I needed a way to clinch the high action of this piece. I couldn't really figure out how to implement an or else what to my demands of recognition and legitimacy, because guess what, Brown Trinity? There ain't one. It isn't having an MFA. It certainly isn't terrorism. And it isn't worrying how perfect my acting is. I mean, everyone's just going to say good job anyway. So, why not just purposely be terrible? Wherefore rejoice! Said to me, don't do that. Don't wait. Don't wait to bring yourself to the work until today. Well, Brian Murtis. I'm sorry! I did wait, maybe. I mean, because today, I'm just finally being in it, because there isn't any other way this text is supposed to sound other than the way it does right now. So, to wrap up, all I really have to say is, line.